Hello everyone! For today's video, I decided to sort characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into Hogwarts houses. Before I get into what house I put each character in, let me go over the qualities of each house so you can see my criteria for sorting. Gryffindor values bravery, daring, nerve, and chivalry. Hufflepuff values hard work, dedication, patience, loyalty, and fair play. Ravenclaw values intelligence, curiosity, knowledge, and wit. Slytherin values ambition, leadership, self-preservation, cunning, heritage, and resourcefulness. Now that you know the qualities I use to sort the characters, let's get into the sorting ceremony. We're going to start out with Captain America. Captain America personifies every quality a true Gryffindor has. His bravery shines when he crashes the Red Skull ship into the Arctic shelf, sacrificing his own life but saving millions of others. His daring and nerve are on full display when he stands up to bullies even before he was injected with super serum. Chivalry, by definition, means to live by a code of morality, and his chivalry was put to the test when he was injected with super serum. As soon as he was a superhero, he could have just shown off his new powers or gone back and gotten revenge on the people who bullied him before, but instead he stayed that same good and selfless person that he was when he was small and weak. Iron Man. Now, Iron Man was a tough character to place, and I've had a lot of back and forth on this. For most of his life, Tony was an extremely ambitious, selfish, and cunning individual. He only cared about himself and didn't care at all if his actions hurt even his best friends. However, through the series, Tony goes on one of the biggest arcs out of all the characters and makes two of the biggest sacrifices. The first is when he takes the nuclear bomb that's about to destroy New York up into space without knowing if he was going to be able to make it back or not. The second is when he uses all the Infinity Stones to kill Thanos, Thanos' entire army, and in turn, himself. Tony was a pretty awful human being at first. However, he made the bravest, most chivalrous moves in the entire MCU, and that can't be denied. I'm putting Iron Man in Gryffindor. The Ancient One. The Ancient One would be sorted into Slytherin. Her ambition is shown by her desire to become Sorcerer Supreme. You can't become Sorcerer Supreme if you don't have the ambition for greatness. She also practices self-preservation by drawing on the Dark Dimension to allow her to live on for centuries past her normal lifespan. She was a human, but her ambition and desire for self-preservation led her to use the Dark Dimension to expand her life by around 600 years. She also showed leadership qualities by being such a long-standing Sorcerer Supreme. Her cunning is displayed by her genius-level intellect. Her intellect would normally make me think she'd be better suited for Ravenclaw. However, much like Hermione is a genius and sorted into Gryffindor, I'm putting the Ancient One in Slytherin. Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange would be in Ravenclaw. Before he became the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange was one of the best neurosurgeons in the world. We saw him read pages of some of the most complicated sorcerer books in seconds, and quite literally in his sleep. All of this shows that he is extremely intelligent and knowledgeable. His constant thirst for knowledge and desire to be the best doctor and sorcerer also shows a great level of curiosity. We also get to see his wittier side when him and Tony Stark go back and forth with each other in Infinity War. Bucky Barnes. Bucky Barnes would be in Hufflepuff. His time in the service shows that he's very hardworking and dedicated to his country. He also shows a lot of patience and loyalty in his friendship with Steve. Before Steve was Captain America, everyone looked at him like dirt on the bottom of their shoes. However, Bucky was always there for him because they were friends, and he didn't need anything else in return. Bucky even offered to have Steve come live with them after his parents passed away. And this is where he says his famous line, "I'm with you till the end of the line, pal." Everyone else became enthralled with Steve after he got his superpowers, but Bucky was there before Steve had anything to offer besides his friendship, and that's loyalty right there. Thor. Thor would be in Hufflepuff. Everything was handed to Thor throughout most of his life, but he showed that he is a hard worker when all of his power was stripped from him. He humbled himself and put in the genuine work to earn his strength and power back. He exhibits loyalty to Loki, the people of Earth, and the loved ones that have passed before him. Loki constantly betrays him. However, Thor always believes that he can change his ways and always gives him a second chance. He shows loyalty to the people of Earth because they were kind to him, and he promised to be Earth's protector from then on. Thor lost many of his loved ones throughout the movies, but he never stopped being loyal to them. He vowed to avenge them by killing Thanos, and he risked his own life to do so on Nevermere when he took the full power of a star to the chest. Yondu. Yondu is a bit of a toss-up, but I believe that at his core, he's a Gryffindor. He lives by the Ravager Code, and by definition, chivalry means to live by a moral code. One could argue the morality of Yondu's actions throughout the movies, but I believe that everything he did was for a good moral reason. Yondu shows all the qualities of a true Gryffindor when he sacrifices himself to save Peter in the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie. If Fox was in the MCU, he definitely would have shown up for Yondu in that moment. Thanos. Thanos is very obviously a Slytherin. I would say trying to become the master of the universe and destroy half of all life is pretty ambitious. He is also top baddie over all the other villains in the MCU, so that displays his leadership capabilities. Self-preservation is also more prevalent with Thanos than any other character. He is willing to do anything to survive, accomplish his goals, and ensure the universe is exactly the way he wants it to be. This is shown most blatantly when he kills his daughter Gamora in order to get the Soul Stone. He also has a genius-level intellect, which is displayed in his brilliant and successful plan to eliminate half of all life. SpiderMan. SpiderMan would be in Ravenclaw. He has a genius-level intellect, which checks both the boxes of intelligence and knowledge. He's also extremely curious, as he is constantly asking questions to anyone he meets. In the middle of the fight in the Civil War, he is even asking his opponents about their powers and their weapons. Peter is also very witty, and always keeps the crowd laughing, even if it's unintentional. Korg. Korg would be sorted in the Hufflepuff. Korg is one of the most chill, go-with-the-flow characters in the whole MCU, and this relates to his patience. He's never in a hurry to do anything or go anywhere. He's always cool with whatever's going on in the moment. He also shows loyalty to his friends, which is shown when he goes to bat for Thor in Ragnarok, and stays with him during his low times after Infinity War. Korg will work hard and dedicate himself to his friends, and this is why I'm putting him in Hufflepuff. Drax. Drax would be sorted into Gryffindor. Drax's daring and nerve can also be looked at as foolishness, but there's no denying that it takes bravery to think he can take on Ronan and his entire army on his own. Loki. Loki is probably the most Slytherin I've ever heard of. His ambition knows no bounds, and we see him try to take over multiple positions of power throughout the movies. Here are just a few. He tries to become the ruler of Earth in the first Avengers, while also attempting to kill his brother numerous times. He bewitches and banishes his own father so he can rule Asgard in his stead. He also allows for the Frost Giants to enter Asgard and possibly start a war with Asgard just so he can be the ruler in the end. Loki shows that self-preservation is most important to him because he betrays his brother and father multiple times so that he can survive and thrive. Being the god of mischief, he is also very cunning in his ability to trick people into believing or doing whatever he wants. His resourcefulness is shown when he is sent to the planet Sakaar and immediately gains favor with the Grand Master. Starlord. Starlord would be in Hufflepuff. Throughout his Ravager days, he shows a lot of hard work to collect certain artifacts to make a living for himself. He's also very dedicated and loyal to his Guardians family and the universe at large. Examples of this are when he goes out into space to rescue Gamora and gives her his breathing apparatus when he doesn't have one for himself. The next time is when he tries to destroy the Power Stone by holding it, not knowing if it will kill him or not. He also shows a lot of patience with the Guardians. Every Guardian is very different and can be tough to deal with. However, Peter is always there to remind them why they are so similar and why they're all friends. Nick Fury. Nick Fury would be sorted into Slytherin. The fact that he climbed the ladder to become director of S.H.I.E.L.D. shows that he's very ambitious. His leadership is shown not only in being the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., but also because he's the person who brought the Avengers together and was their leader in the very beginning. Self-preservation is the very nature of what a spy is. Nick Fury shows his desire for self-preservation when he pretends to be dead in The Winter Soldier. He makes the rest of the world believe he's dead because he knows that's the only way that S.H.I.E.L.D. will stop hunting him. Hawkeye. I'm going to put Hawkeye into Hufflepuff. To become the master marksman that he is takes a lot of hard work and dedication. I mean, this one shot at Loki in the first Avengers is one of my favorite parts of all the movies. He's also very loyal to his family and to Black Widow. Both him and Black Widow were willing to sacrifice themselves to get the Soul Stone, but in the end, Hawkeye had to let her go. Groot. Groot would be sorted into Gryffindor. I was going to go with Hufflepuff for his loyalty to Rocket and the other Guardians. However, patience is another quality of Hufflepuff, and teenage Groot shows absolutely zero patience. I put Groot into Gryffindor because he shows bravery and chivalry when he sacrifices himself on Ronan's ship to save the rest of the Guardians. Groot forms a cocoon around the rest of the squad when Ronan's ship is about to crash, which he knows probably means his own death, but thankfully, Groot survives and, like Fox, turns into a baby Groot. Black Panther. Black Panther would be in Gryffindor. He displays his bravery and nerve in two specific scenes. The first is when he's willing to challenge anyone in Wakanda to take the title of king by having a fight to the death without his powers. He ends up being challenged and wins the fight after almost being killed. He also shows bravery when he goes back to fight Killmonger after Killmonger almost killed him in their previous fight. He knows he could very well die, but it's worth it for him to save his people and the rest of the world from a tyrannical ruler. Rocket Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon would be in Slytherin. Throughout the Guardian series, we see that money is the biggest motivator for Rocket in any situation. He captures Peter for the bounty, but then when he sees that Peter has the Infinity Stone that could be traded for a way larger sum of money, he's willing to work with Peter to find a broker. This shows that Rocket is very ambitious and is willing to do anything for the right price. Rocket is also into self-preservation, as he constantly reminds us that he looks out for one thing, and that's himself. He also displays cunning and resourcefulness with his ability to make powerful weapons out of anything around him. His cunning is also shown when he makes the brilliant prison escape plan in the first Guardians movie. Deadpool. I'm putting Deadpool in Ravenclaw simply for his wit. Deadpool is one of the funniest characters in the Marvel Universe, and I would say his wittiness makes up for any lacking intelligence or knowledge. Falcon. Falcon would be in Hufflepuff. His main Hufflepuff trait is loyalty. Throughout the Avengers films, we are constantly shown how loyal Falcon is to Cap. When Captain America and Black Widow are on the run and become number one on S.H.I.E.L.D.'s most wanted list, Falcon allows them to lie low at his house. This is after meeting Cap just a few days before. Sam's loyalty is best displayed through Cap giving him his shield, symbolizing that he should be the next Captain America. Cap does this because he knows Sam will dedicate himself to carry on the tradition the best he can. Hulk. Now, I'm going to do the version of the Hulk that has Bruce Banner's mind and the Hulk's body. I believe the Hulk would be sorted into Ravenclaw. He has a genius-level intellect and is a master scientist and engineer. Hulk also has some of the funniest moments in the movies, and even though he may not be trying to be funny, he definitely has his own unique wittiness. Nebula. I would put Nebula into Slytherin. She exhibits her ambition when she goes in solo to try and kill Thanos on his own ship. Her self-preservation and resourcefulness are shown because even though her whole body has been ripped away from her, she is dedicated to surviving and finding ways to be an elite warrior. Her heritage is also shown because, well, she's a daughter of Thanos. Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch would be in Hufflepuff because she is fiercely loyal to those that are close to her. Whether this be her brother Quicksilver or Vision, she would do anything to protect those that she loves. This is shown in the pain it causes when she has to kill Vision in order to destroy the Mind Stone and try to save the universe. Vision. Vision would be in Ravenclaw. The Mind Stone gives him superhuman level of intelligence and knowledge. He is also very curious because he doesn't exactly understand what he is or why the humans around him do what they do, so he's constantly asking questions about human nature. Gamora. Gamora would be in Gryffindor. She is a fearless warrior that will take on any opponent. Her bravery and daring are shown in Infinity War when she takes on Thanos by herself and even ends up winning. However, Thanos was using the Reality Stone to project a fake version of himself, so I don't know if that really counts, but she was still brave to do it. Her chivalry is shown when she would rather sacrifice her own life than tell Thanos where the Soul Stone is. Black Widow. I'm going to put Black Widow into Hufflepuff. She shows tremendous hard work and dedication in her training with the KGB. It took years to master all of her fighting and spy skills, which shows that she has a lot of patience as well. She displays loyalty because she dedicates her life to whatever team she's fighting for, whether that be S.H.I.E.L.D., the Avengers, or the KGB. And of course, she displays loyalty in Endgame when she makes the ultimate sacrifice by taking her own life so the Avengers can get the Soul Stone and save the universe. AntMan. AntMan would be sorted into Ravenclaw. Scott Lang is gifted with intelligence and is an expert-level engineer and hacker. He was also very witty and had some of the funniest moments in any of the MCU movies. Alright everybody, so that's all the Marvel characters sorted into their houses. Now let's take a look on how the houses stacked up. In Gryffindor, we have Captain America, Iron Man, Black Panther, Drax, Groot, and Yondu. In Slytherin, we have Thanos, Ancient One, Loki, Rocket Raccoon, Nick Fury, and Nebula. In Ravenclaw, we have Doctor Strange, Hulk, Vision, SpiderMan, Deadpool, and AntMan. And in Hufflepuff, we have Thor, Scarlet Witch, Starlord, Bucky Barnes, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Falcon, and Korg. In the comments below, let me know which of these houses would win in an all-out fight. And or let me know which house has the most of your favorite characters. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you did, I would really appreciate if you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Feel free to also share this with any of your friends who are into Marvel and Harry Potter. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.